What are you watching, Mum?
Oh, the usual.
There's something a lot of you don't know about my mum. She has a syndrome. It's called TDS. Some of you may have heard it before. It's called Trump Derangement Syndrome.
Full-blown Trump derangement syndrome?
Trump derangement syndrome has become a thing.
Now, I've never heard of Trump derangement syndrome. I'm not a doctor, but...
Trump derangement syndrome.
I'm watching Trump getting trumped.
In simple terms, she can't stand Donald Trump. She has this visceral dislike for the man.
It looks like they're going to vote on whether they're going to impeach him or not, and that will go through, and then it'll go to the Senate, and then the Senate will probably kick it out, and then he'll get off.
She basically spends most of her days glued to CNN on her phone, baying for him to be impeached. I reckon you've got a crush on Donald Trump.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think, really?
Yeah.
Do you know what? He reminds me of someone I was married to once. Not good out. Serves you right, you bastard.
So I had an idea, which is as genius as it is evil. Right, Conies, we'll be back in a sec. I've got my Krabby Joe's hat on that we bought in on Daytona Beach. I want to trick my mum I want to trick my mum to go out in public wearing this. This is Donald Trump's MAGA hat, one of the most divisive pieces of clothing from the 21st century. Nothing says I support Trump, his beliefs and his politics more than wearing this infamous MAGA cap.
I don't know if there's ever been a piece of fashion that inspires so much division and emotional turmoil.
But there's no way she would agree to wearing that out in public. Like, it would just never happen. So I need to somehow trick her into wearing that hat out in public, in Bath, in the Christmas markets, the busiest time of the year by far. Everyone in the world is in the Christmas markets in Bath right now, so it has maximum impact this time of year.
So where do you want to go?
It's a little bit similar colour, so I'm thinking if I pretend to put this one on Mum, she won't question it, because yeah, she'll just think, oh, it's the hat he's been wearing all day. But what I'll do is I'll stealthily swap them over and stick that on Mum, and then walk through Bath Christmas markets with her. So let's see if I can make it work. Mum can wear my Krabby Joe hat.
Hey.
So this, Mum, is the Bath Christmas markets.
Oh, wow.
Everybody in the whole of the west side of the UK right now is at the Bath Christmas markets.
A lot of people. It's like London. That's what I thought. The only thing different is the accent stuff. All right, bye, lovely. What is this?
Oh God, sorry, I'm back. Explain why you dislike Trump so much.
Oh, okay, apart from him being a total misogynist, entitled, arrogant, narcissistic. Actually, I can't actually think. I know, but I can't think of any one quality, but not one. Even his hair is bad. There's nothing. His skin is orange. There's nothing real about him. Yeah, that's why I don't like him. He lies all the time. He can't open his mouth without lying. I don't like liars. I wouldn't be inviting him to a dinner party anytime soon. Unless I was serving him on a plate.
Mum. Mum, I'm so sorry.
What did I say now?
Take a look at your hat.
You bastard! You little shit!
I'm very lucky to have a mum like my mum, because she doesn't take herself too seriously. She took it really well. She found it hilarious. I'm sorry, Mum. I'm sorry. Come here. I'm sorry.
You got me good.
So many people.
Krabby Joe's.
So many people were looking at you like, what the hell is that woman wearing that for? We got so many funny looks from people walking around. So many people were like, what the hell is this woman doing wearing that hat around here? It was just hilarious. I found it really funny.
Oh, no wonder you were laughing.
Sorry, Mum. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was funny. I'm going to kill you.
I'm not trying to make any political points or anything. I just thought it would be really funny to put some really massive anti-Trump supporter in a MAGA hat and make them walk around a public space. I'm a genius, what can I say? Just enjoy it. If you're offended by it, then I don't care. It's genius, so you got to get over it. But yeah, anyway, Let's get on with the show. I'm a terrible person. Hannah and I are off to a wedding. My friend Guy is getting married to a lovely lady called Jenny.
I really like Jenny.
Yeah, she's nice, isn't she? Hannah will be drinking, but I'm not going to be drinking while we're down here because,
Because Stef can't plan for anything, so he's driving.
I'll shut up, Miss bought the total wrong dress for a wedding and had like months and months to
it's
prepare.
your wedding, who cares?
Oh well,
Your friend's wedding.
I win.
Okay, have it.
Fine, I'll take it.
I know you will.
I know, I will, I'll have that. I like it, thank you. Don't know where I'm going to put it, but...
It's fine, you need it. I don't. Do you remember that time you two went skiing by yourself? And he fell over and you were like, he's whinging so much, and then you got home and realised he'd broken his collarbone.
Yeah, I know. But he did whinge about it a lot. So, alright mate, you broke your collarbone, you have to go on about it.
Bless him. Oh God, that was absolutely killed.
He still complains about it as well to this day. He's like, oh, you wouldn't even help me with my bags when we were leaving. It's like, I had my own bags to carry. I can't grow extra arms just because you broke a collarbone. Yeah, anyway, I'm not the best man. You got everything?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
I don't want to sneak in first. Let's just listen.
Okay.
Jennifer Virginia Jane Glover, I give you this ring.
Jennifer Virginia Jane Glover, I give you this ring.
As a sign of our marriage.
As a sign of marriage.
Seeing my friends get married always feels weird. Because it feels like only yesterday that we were those skinny bunch of boys with Dax wax gluing our peroxide blonde frosted tips together, dressed in double denim with our Nokia 8610s bulging out of our pockets while we sat around Cafe Neuro talking about girls. And now those skinny boys are suddenly men with some grey hairs and a newfound ability to hold eye contact, and they're standing a few feet away from me getting married. And I'm watching it all happen, feeling this mixture of pride and confusion as to where all the time went. Maybe that's why I have this obsession with filming everything, because life really is so short. So by capturing it, you can make fragments of it last forever. It's 10 o'clock, we just got home.
Got my puppy back.
Hannah's happy she's got George back.
Hello, Georgie. Did you miss us?
Yes, she did. Didn't you? Yes, you did. Did you miss your mommy?
That was a big drive, 2.5 hour drive. But we're home now, gonna get to bed, roll on tomorrow. This is a board game. It's called The Game of Life. It was originally created in 1860 by a guy called Milton Bradley. And the game simulates a person's travels through his or her life from college to retirement, with jobs, marriage, and possible children along the way. I guess this game is like a microcosm of the larger games that we're all playing individually. We're each completing our own levels, like the education level, the work level, the finding our soulmate and settling down level, the making our home and having children level. All these levels lead to the end of the game. And the end of the game might be different for all of you, but my personal end level was being married with kids and a dog, living in our own home. And that's where I am now. The end level, which I never realized would come with a question. What now? Now I'm here, what should I do? Just sit back and de-weed the garden while I wait for Hannah to divorce me or death to pitch up? I guess what I'm asking is, what's my purpose now? Is it just to pay the bills and keep the train chugging along? I know eventually I'll sell One Feed and be a billionaire. They aren't new levels, they're just coins in a level. The ultimate level for me is, and always was, creating a family and living in our own home. Now I have that, everything else just feels inconsequential, maybe even pedestrian. In the game of life, you win by being the person at the end of the game who amasses the most wealth. Not the person who's the happiest or healthiest, the person who has the most buying power at the end wins. This isn't how you win at life, because we all know that if you're the sort of person that views money as the gauge of success and feels the need to signal your wealth with garish Louis Vuitton bags and flashy cars, then you're only signaling not what you have, but more what you don't. So if I refuse to buy into that whole "if you're not rich, then you're not a success" false dichotomy, then that means the rest of my life, my purpose is just to keep the train chugging along. Or is it? I want to be a dad to a daughter. I don't just want it, I feel this ache for it. I want a little girl who I can watch grow into a woman, and one day when I'm an old man, I can walk around a park with her arm in arm. But the problem is I don't want another boy. I really don't want another boy. 2 is enough. My ache for the girl is somewhat compounded by the risk of having another boy. But what if there was a way I could alleviate the risk of having another boy? This week, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to find out if it's possible and how we go about it, and if this new level in the game is something we should consider. Anyway, it's good to be back.
I mean, if you'd asked me like a year ago, I probably would have said I don't think I'll have a third child. But now Rufus has got to that age where he's like, he'll be starting preschool next year, and then I don't know, and he's still in a cot and he's still having a bottle and he's still got nappies, but I think he's ready to get rid of all that stuff. And I will really, really miss the baby toddler age. So I do think we probably will go for a third. But as well, I think the difference between Stef and I, and what makes me more reserved about it, is obviously I have had a couple of miscarriages. I don't think I ever even spoke about the second one online. So I actually had one after Rufus as well. I don't know, there's just a lot to deal with, like mentally and physically. So I think for me, like preparing for potentially another one of those, I'm just like, I don't know if that's something I want to do for a while. So
Hi little man, I'm going to London today. I miss you. I love you. Bye Georgie. Oh, give me a blueberry. Today I'm going to London to go and meet Canon. While I was in the train from Bath to London, I did some research on gender selection, which is a medical technique used by prospective parents who wish to choose the sex of their offspring. I found out that gender selection is performed through sperm separation or genetic testing. I wanted to find out more about how it works, how expensive it is, and if there are any ethical reasons why it might not be a good idea. Let me caveat all of this by saying it's not something we'd consider unless we already had 2 children of the same sex. I managed to find a doctor based in the US who specialises in the process who agreed to speak to me next week, so I'll record that for our next video. I have one very important question for him, and that's if we do have a baby girl, can we make sure she doesn't get my massive chin? I really want to be able to love her, and if she has my massive fucking chin, well, that's not going to be easy.
Hello, chicken. Yeah, good. Just looking at gender selection techniques. Several eggs are extracted from the mother by our doctors. Sperm is supplied by the father. The father's sperm is used to fertilise the mother's egg in the lab. After 3 days, several 8-cell embryos will have developed. Our doctor scientist specialists examine the genetic makeup of the embryos, screening for both genetic diseases and desired gender. Healthy embryos of the gender you desire are implemented in the mother. Any additional healthy embryos may be cryo-frozen for future use. Yeah, and you can even select the eye colour as well. Yeah, let's create a superhuman.
Roo and I have got a cake mix to make. We're going to make some Peppa Pig cupcakes. Put your cupcake cases in the bun tray. Shall I hand them to you and you put them in? Good boy. You're very good at this. Yay! You did it!
It's probably the coldest day of the year today, but it is beautiful. It's a beautiful blue sky day, so I think we're going to go into up to the park.
You may have noticed I have a black eye. It's from jiu-jitsu. Some twat accidentally kicked me in the face. And if you find that in any way amusing, then you're just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I wouldn't want you to be abused in the face because I'm a happy man. And if you're happy in your life, then why would you want other people to be abused in their face? It says more about you than anything else.
Take Rufus out for a little walk, take Georgie out for a walk, and I want to test out my new drone as well, look. Got the Mavic Mini. This thing weighs 249 grams, which makes it 1 gram under the legal limit for me to have my license and everything, which I do have, but basically I don't need to get out bollards. I don't need to go and tell everyone that I'm going to be flying a drone. I don't need to check all the meteorology reports. I don't need to. Anyway, there's a lot you need to do when you. Yeah, there's loads of stuff you need to do when you fly a drone. You have to basically do an hour's worth of like prep work before every drone flight, if you want to do it properly. Anyway, with a drone that weighs under 250 grams, 249 grams, you don't have to do any of that rubbish. You can get this up and fly it anywhere, provided you're not near an airport or in a restricted airspace. Basically, you can fly it anywhere. So I can fly this thing all over Bath and not have to worry about anyone telling me off.
Number 2 says empty the sponge mix sachet into a bowl.
Last night before bed, Grayson decided that he wanted to write a love letter to a girl at school. He also wanted to draw her some Christmas pictures, so he drew a reindeer, a snowman, Father Christmas, some holly, and a few hearts, all on a little scrap of paper. He says she's his favourite girl at school and thinks she's really pretty. I told him he should tell her that in his letter, but he didn't want to.
They're climbing shoes too.
2, 3. Now mix, Ruthie. Cupcakes. Yeah, we're gonna put it in the oven in a minute. Gonna pour the icing bag into this bowl. That all goes in the bowl. There. Yay! Well done.
So I'm going to take my Mavic Mini out on its maiden voyage. Just doing an update, because of course I have to do an update. 66% finished, and then as soon as that's updated, I'll see what this bad boy can do. I'm not imagining it can do much because the camera on it is so teeny. I don't think the quality is going to be very good, but it remains to be seen. Perfect day for it anyway, so no excuses.
What does that taste like? Cookie. Is it nice? We mix it into, look, it's turning into icing, Roo. Oh my gosh. Lovely. Right then, look whose cakes are ready.
How do I fly it?
Cakes are ready. Cakes are ready. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot. See? Good boy, well done. Another one. Sorry, Papa. She got drowned in the mud. Papa George. Sprinkle on Papa and George, yeah. Oh, you turned me into a in those cheeks.
The letter read, Dear Sky, thank you for playing with me and being my friend. I've drawn you a reindeer. I hope you like it. Merry Christmas. Grayson. Once he finished his letter, we wrapped it in an envelope and buried it in his school bag, so the next day in the playground he could give it to her before class.